Ah, roguelite games. There's nothing quite like bashing your head against a wall over and over again and getting slightly better each time you do it. Even better when there's pirate ships, lizard slaps, karate chops, and good boys. We're talking about Gunfire Reborn, a roguelite first-person shooter game that's insanely fun to play. It's like if Enter the Gungeon and Borderlands had a baby, and then the baby had a baby with Rogue Legacy, and that baby was raised by Overwatch. It's a mashup of ideas that just damn works. This is a game that's incredibly easy to get into and does a good job at keeping you interested, even if you suck at FPS games. The progression system is satisfying and each playthrough feels different than the last. With only 3 stages to beat before you beat the game though, it doesn't really seem like there's much content. But my 25 hours of playtime tell a different story. The reason that I'm able to keep having fun with a game that seems to not have that much content is because the variation of the content is huge, and you never know what the game is going to hand you next. Gunfire Reborn does a fantastic job of keeping the gameplay fun not only by variety of weapons and perks, but by variety of characters you can play. The gameplay itself is pretty damn simple. Get in there and shoot the shit out of the bad guys until you win or die. Easy. Of course, there is a bit more to it than that. As you go through each dungeon, you'll get random perks, upgrades, and weapons. You go through the randomized rooms, killing bad guys and collecting currency until you either kill all the bad guys and win, or you get killed yourself, which will happen a lot. After you win or die, you can spend all the currency you collected on permanent upgrades for your character. These upgrades can range from having more health, to getting better weapons, to getting even more upgrade currency. After you upgrade your character, you can start a fresh run and do it all over again. Progression in this game is super satisfying and leaves me itching to gather more of that sweet upgrade cash. There are 3 very different characters you can play as, each with their own special abilities, upgrades, and playstyles. Each character has 2 abilities they can use, and they feel like they're straight out of Overwatch. You start by only being able to play this little guy, the Crown Prince. You can unlock the others as you go along. The shitty thing about this system is that the game forces you to play as that one character for about your first 5 hours until you can even unlock the second character of the bunch. I understand the need to make sure players have a grasp on the basics of how the game works, but there isn't much of a skill difference between the characters, and this just feels like an artificial barrier for a feeling of more progression. There are a bunch of weapons to choose from, ranging from a laser glove to a remote detonating fireball spitting lizard that reminds me of a certain drunken Scottish cyclops. Each weapon feels unique by themselves, and they're made even better by a system that seems pretty familiar, and that definitely isn't a bad thing. When you get a weapon, it has a chance to have special perks on it that up the ante, making even familiar weapons feel fresh and new between playthroughs. When you find a weapon you really like, you can upgrade it by coming across the Craftsman, your friendly neighborhood, whatever the hell he is. You can have up to 3 guns, including 1 gun you can't get rid of. At first I thought the limit of weapons was annoying, but it really does encourage strategically picking out your weapons and coordinating with your team, which adds a fun element to the game. There are other distractions that you can stumble on as you go through the dungeon, starting with this little fella, the peddler. You'll find this guy awaiting you randomly throughout the levels, looking to make a profit off you for weapons, health, and perks. Then there's some challenges you can get randomly as you go along. These can range from a few exploding blocks running at you full force, to making enemies explode after you kill them. The last distraction is vaults. As you go through the dungeon, you'll see cracks on the walls. You just need to shoot the shit out of them and hop in. These can either be a mini-boss, jumping puzzle, or these goddamn piece of shit boulders. And at the end of the room, you'll end up 1 perk scroll richer. These rooms can be a lot of fun. I just hate the boulder rooms. For reasons. The distractions in Gunfire Reborn are a welcome diversion, and it's nice that if you hate those goddamn piece of shit boulders, you don't have to do the room. They're all usually worth the trouble though, rewarding you with either a character upgrade or a scroll. Scrolls are a huge part of this game. These things can really make or break a run, and unlike the chalices that you get for beating each level, you usually don't have a choice on which ones you get. There are 2 types of scrolls, regular and cursed. The regular scrolls can have some really cool abilities, from adding more dodge rolls to improving all damage to dealing damage directly to health when you get headshots. The cursed scrolls do just what they sound like they do, usually nerfing your damage by a huge margin. You can get them by either taking a risk at a chest or picking up a perk alongside them. After risking to get them twice, I don't even take the chance anymore. The risk has never been worth the reward. The scrolls seem balanced for the most part, though some of the scrolls are straight up shit and there's no real reason to pick them up. And the curse scrolls don't really have an effect on the game as long as you don't choose them, and why would you? It would honestly be nice to see the curse scrolls being more active in the gameplay, but maybe a little bit nerfed, so the risk becomes worth the reward. With the state of them right now, just getting one of them can absolutely kill a run. After you get to the end of a level, you'll come across a chest that will unlock after you beat all the enemies. In each chest is a magic goblet that lets you upgrade your character somehow, and it gives you 3 choices. Each choice will be randomly given to you and ultimately decides what direction the playthrough is going to take. And on top of that, each character has their own set of these. Giving a choice on how you upgrade your character is a really cool design choice that I haven't seen in roguelites before, and I really enjoy it. As you trek through the dungeons, you'll notice different colored health bars on the enemies. If you've played Borderlands at all, you already know what these mean, because they are the exact same. Yellow bars are armor and need to be corroded away, blue ones need to be shocked out of existence, and the red bars need to be killed with fire. You can damage each color with any element, but some do more or less damage depending on what you're using. This mechanic forces you to be conscious of what gun you're using and adds a degree of strategy to the game. It's an aspect I think works really well in games like this. When you complete a stage, you'll always end up at a boss, which is the set boss for that level. Currently, there are only 3 bosses, and the devs plan on adding more. The boss fights are each unique and well balanced, definitely the most intense and satisfying fights in the game. The only problem with them is the lack of variety. You know you're always going to fight this bowling bong at the end of the first stage, sand shark at the second, and pirate ship at the third. One of my favorite things I like about games like this is the randomness of everything, including bosses. I'd love to see a system in this game like the one in Enter the Gungeon, one where you beat a level and encounter a random boss for that set stage. At its current state, there's no real surprises as far as boss fights go, and for me, that takes away a bit of the fun. The multiplayer aspect of Gunfire Reborn is actually what drew me to it. I loved the thought of playing a roguelite with friends, and it really didn't let me down. You can have up to 4 people on a team, and the difficulty and rewards scale with the number of players present. Another thing that I liked about it is that your loot is yours alone, but you have the ability to share weapons and upgrades if you don't want them. One more reason to do multiplayer is that when you get shot down, your teammates can revive you and get you back into the fight. The only thing about that is when you get knocked down, the movement gets all jacked up for some reason. Unlike the rest of the game where your camera and character movement is linked, when you get downed, they separate, and it's left me confused just about every time. I don't know if this is to make it more challenging, but it's been just annoying more than anything. So, with all that being said, is this game worth buying in early access? Definitely. The game has drawn me in and kept me in, and I loved every minute of it. Well, almost every minute. Even though it needs more content, it does well with what it has. It's a fresh take on an awesome genre, and you're sure to get tons of playtime on it. Whether you're playing solo or with friends, you're bound to have a blast. If you want to discover more cool indie games you might not have heard about otherwise, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time.